When you think of early childcare, you think of kinder, you think of nana helping out. But should you be thinking au pair? Well, yes, you know, it sounds posh, French, and it sounds expensive. But don't be put off. Matt Chisholm's discovered it's a childcare option that's surprisingly affordable, if you've got a spare room.
Thank you.
So the girls that come out here always come out with the best intention. With, you know, the family's best interest and the children's best interest at heart.
While it might look like child's play, business is booming.
In the last 3 years, our business, Au Pair Link, has grown about 700% each year, year on year.
When it comes to the childcare challenge.
Are you guys pretty flash here in Green Lane?
Oh no, I like to think of ourselves just as a regular family.
More and more Kiwis are choosing to use an au pair.
Run away, run away.
An au pair is a form of home-based care where the family can have an au pair that lives in the home but that also provides education for their children.
It suits us because it allows us to keep our children at home in their own environment on a day-to-day basis while we're at work. It also offers flexibility.
It certainly sounds flash, but it is something that is used by middle-income, normal families.
And they say the number of those families has doubled in the past 12 months, with 2,000 au pairs coming to New Zealand this year.
I guess I was interested in living in a different part of the world. When you're living in a home with a family, you're not just a tourist. And so it's a totally different experience.
It's great to have an extra pair of hands around the house when you've got two parents working full-time to help with the care relating to the children and chores. And I also have really enjoyed the fact that I can still choose the activities that the children do during the week, so they're not just stuck in one environment.
Aviation consultant Angela Hogg and her hubby have been using au pairs for 4 years. Jessica Aguilar from Detroit is their fourth, taking care of 4-year-old Eden and 7-month-old Zach.
Can it ever be a bit weird living with people you don't really know that well?
Well, you get to know them really quickly, obviously living with them and spending all the time with them. So it definitely takes a lot of communication and a lot of compromise, but it's only as awkward as you want it to be, I guess.
So if that's not an issue, at least in this household, how about cost?
Definitely stacks up on the cost front. We pay Au Pair Link $230 a week, and that's 45 hours of childcare for 2 children, and it's in our home.
So most families, it's about $200 on average that you're talking about, and that's a really cost-effective form of childcare option. If you've got one child in daycare, you're paying about $200, $250 a week in central Auckland per child. So if you've got 2 children, then it's $500.
The game changer came 3 years ago,
Start at the steps.
when the biggest agency, Au Pair Link, became licensed and eligible for Ministry of Education funding, including the 20-hour-a-week early childhood education subsidy for 3- and 4-year-olds. That's $95 a week.
So that tops up what we pay to the agency, and that then gets paid out to the au pair.
As a home-based early childhood education provider, we can provide better services to families. So I think families have become really aware of the fact that they can choose to have their au pair, and they can also get the same type of services that they would in a daycare, in terms of teaching their children, the early childhood curriculum in New Zealand.
But some say au pairs don't deliver the same level of education as daycare, where they have qualified teachers. Here's Peter Reynolds from the Early Childhood Council.
Definitely, and the au pairs themselves are not qualified ECE teachers, and these are people who are able to come into your home, as I understand it, to not only look after the children, but to do the washing up, do some cleaning, a bit of housework and a few other things.
Your detractors would say, look, au pairs aren't qualified teachers, they're merely babysitters and glorified cleaners. What would you say to that?
I would say that parents are not qualified parents as well.
It's a matter of choice, and I think it's good that that variety is available to parents, but at the end of the day, we trust parents will always make a judgment call on quality and on where their child is going to get that best possible start.
I don't think that you have to be a qualified person to care for a child. I just think that you have to love what you do and be committed to being part of that child's life.
Au Pair Link does have a team of qualified teachers who train the au pairs to deliver the early childhood curriculum. And in Eden's case, Mum says it's working.
It's obvious that she's not missing out because she's doing so very well. She's had the one-on-one and she's had the time, and energy put into her at a level that may not be able to be obtained elsewhere.
Looks like you're about to have a baby yourself.
Yes, I'm just about to pop.
Will that little man be guided by an au pair?
He will definitely have an au pair. I've already actually got the childcare, I've already got the girls lined up for him. My husband doesn't want to lock one in though before I've had him and made sure that he's all good. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to be a host mum.
Matt Chisholm with the au pair option.